Hi friends, my name is Laura and welcome to Book Bubbler. No Friday reads this week. I only finished one book and I thought hopefully I will have finished a couple of more over the weekend. So next week I will actually have things to talk about. Today instead we are doing my November TBR. This stack here are my nonfiction things for Nonfiction November. But before we get into Nonfiction November, I also wanted to say hi and welcome to all of my new subscribers. Thank you so much. Krista is wonderful and kind and lovely and nice, and I really enjoy watching her channel, and I really am enjoying her Krista's Joyful Journey channel about trying to be healthier and more fit. I just love that channel. It's so great. She's doing such an awesome job there. So hello and welcome to all of my new people. And okay, let's get right into this. All right. So I don't have a copy of the book yet, but for Book Naturalists, the pick this month is The Seed Keeper by, oh my gosh, I want to say Diane somebody. I'll put a picture up here. My library does not have any copies in stock and they're ordering more, and there's a hold list. So I don't know when I'm going to get to this. It might be December by the time it rolls in, the way it's looking now, but we'll see. So that is on my list. Hopefully I will be able to get my hands on it. And then as part of a buddy read with Danny at Denalis Speaks, Emily at Novel Novels, and Ange at Ange's Book Chatter, we are reading The Grapes of Wrath by John Steinbeck. A couple of months ago, we read East of Eden and really enjoyed it and decided we wanted to read more Steinbeck again. So we'll be reading this throughout the month. And then also with Danny, so this year our project for the two of us for our buddy read was to read the whole 12-book series of The Pink Carnation by Lauren Willig. We finished that last month. So now, since both of us want to read this before the end of the year, we are reading the very first book in the Wheel of Time series. This is The Eye of the World by Robert Jordan. We have it chunked up so we can read it throughout 8 weeks. So far, it's pretty good. I'm not that far into it. I am way behind from where I should be. I should be at this tab, and I'm right where this is. So, oops. That's all right. So I'll be reading this with her through the end of the year. It's our first time really trying again with higher fantasy. We both tried to read the group read last year. Sanderson, oh, what was it? It's the one with Oathbringer. It's that series. Neither one of us could get into it at the time, but we both want to read this one. So we're trying. So far, so good. Okay, and now it's all Nonfiction November from here on out. So I have one book that I started reading just over a year ago. That is my priority to finish. That's my big thing. I have one book that is brand new to me that I want to read start to finish. It's not that long. And then the rest of this big stack here is stuff that I have pulled from throughout the last year for different readathons, different challenges. And I don't want to refile them, to be quite honest. So I'm going to try and get through these. Now, don't laugh too hard. Don't pull anything when I show you this stack. But we're going to kind of rapid fire this and see how it goes. Ready? Okay, so the one that I started last year and never finished for absolutely no reason. This book is so amazing and wonderful. I stopped because I wanted to make it last longer, and then it's somehow accidentally been like 13 months. Oops. So here is Destiny of the Republic by Candace Millard. It's about Garfield, President Garfield. It's unbelievable. It's so good. She's such a good writer. I am upset with myself that I haven't finished it yet, but I haven't, so that's fine. So here's my priority. And then the book that I want to read from start to finish that is new to me, I think I hauled it at, like last December. This is Denalis Howl by Andy Hall. So in the late 1960s, a group of 12 young men decided to climb Mount McKinley, which is known as Denali, outside of Fairbanks, locally, and only 2 of them survived. So Andy Hall is the grandson? No, he's a journalist and the son of the park superintendent at the time. So he tracks down the rescuers, he looks at original documents, all this stuff to talk about this freak storm and what happened to these 10 people that died on Denali. So looking forward to this. And again, it's not that big. And there are, what you call it in here too, notes and things. So it's really not that big. All right, you ready for the rest of these? Here goes. Okay, What White People Can Do Next from Allies Ship to Coalition by Emma DeBerry. The Piano Shop on the Left Bank by Tad Carhart. So this is about a Parisian shop, obviously on the left bank, that sells pianos, but I think you have to prove that you can play or you'll take care of them somehow. It's not just like you can go into the store and buy them, but you have to prove that you are going to take care of it. You're responsible enough to deserve it or something. I'm not entirely sure. And it's also about, I think, Tad's life a little bit too. I've heard very good things, just haven't gotten to it. Next up, I've had this for such a long time. I'll Never Be French No Matter What I Do by Mark Greenside. This is about a small town in Brittany and how he moves there from, I believe, England. Yes, I think so. So it's about his life there. It's sort of giving me little vibes of Peter Mayle, and I love Peter Mayle, so I'm hoping this will be just as good. You Can't Make This Stuff Up by Teresa Caputo. She is the Long Island medium on TLC. And I liked her first book. It was really interesting. So I had the second one from my mom, so I'll read this one. The Spell of the Vienna Woods by Paul Hoffman. Inspiration and influence from Beethoven to Kafka. So again, the woods outside of Vienna are storied as this beautiful place where all these famous people have lived. I walked through them very briefly when I was in Vienna about 20 years ago, and there is something about that place. So I'm curious to see what this book is going to say about the woods there. Then we have Atlantis in Wisconsin, New Revelations About a Sunken City by Frank Joseph. So just outside of Madison, there are these sunken pyramids in the bottom of a lake. It's very mysterious, like most people have heard of them. So if you live here, of course. So let's see what this says. Then David Sedaris, Theft by Finding. I used to really, really like David Sedaris, and then over the last few years, he just seems fine to me. And this is one of the books that I'm like, I should probably just read this and move it along. I don't know if I'm going to really love it that much or laugh a lot or anything, but it's a chunkster, you know, like I could use the shelf space and I don't want to put it back. So there's that. And then I need to play catch up, do some skim reading in Sandy Toksvig's Wig Almanac for 2021. Sandy, last year during lockdown when that started, she had a YouTube channel and she would do, I think, daily or every other day, frequent videos about famous women in history that have been lost to time all over the world, all different areas of, like, you know, philosophers and musicians and all sorts of things. And then she decided to do a podcast also based on this. And then this book came out of that as well. It's really interesting. Each day, obviously it's an almanac, says what it is, like March 27th, World Theater Day, there's a quote. And then she talks a little bit about that day and then about the people that were born then. Little things. So I love Sandy Toksvig, and this should be a lot of fun to kind of flip through and catch up on. Ooh, had this one for a while. This is Here We Are, little essays about feminism around the world, or for the real world, excuse me, edited by Kelly Jensen. Kelly lives here in Wisconsin. She works for Book Riot, or at least she used to work for Book Riot. I don't know if she still does or not. So this is aimed more towards teens and like younger adults. So I think this will be a little basic for me, but that's fine. I can learn basic things. And it's, you know, interesting pages, very nice to look at, kind of fun. So got that. I was supposed to read this as a group read this year with some friends in real life. And I bailed like immediately, not because I started reading it. I just never started reading it. I got my page markers that are all dusty. I just never read it. So I'm going to start this. And this one, I know if I don't finish it, I will move it along. That's fine. And then very much last but not least, this is The Warmth of Other Suns by Isabel Wilkerson. Like so many of you, I'm sure, have heard nothing but wonderful glowing things about this book and then her more recent book, Cast. And I have been meaning to read this since it was first published, so it was supposed to be a priority this year to read this book. Clearly, it's November. I'm making it a priority now. So those are all the books that I'm hoping to read this month. The only ones I know I'll read for sure are The Grapes of Wrath, and I will get into The Wheel of Time with Danny. Everything else is really just sort of a pot shot. See what comes up, see what I feel like reading. Hopefully I can get my brain back into books. This last month I had a lot of stuff going on and I just didn't really read that much. So yeah, these two are my ones I really, really want to read, and then we'll go from there. Anyways, I'm waffling. Okay, what are you guys reading? Have you read any of these? Should I try and put any of this stack over here, like bump any of them up? Or should I read them sooner? Let me know, and I hope you're all having a wonderful day and a great month. Your month is off to a good start, I should say. Happy Halloween, and I will see you guys soon.